So
Mhm.
I'm looking for you to tell me what would be the best avenue if I'm a first time home buyer with 30,000 and I got my down payment money.
Mhm.
And you already said I could probably get some closing assistance
Mhm.
from the seller. So
Mhm.
where do I get the rest of the money from?
So the first thing that I want to say is, everything that you've said is the reason why people need to work with an experienced loan officer,
Mhm.
because those are all of the things that we need to take into consideration before presenting you with your best options and being able to explain that. Now,
Mhm.
even with that, what I will say is that no, everybody has their own financial thumbprint
Mhm.
and everybody's is different. You could have a buyer over here with the exact same credit score, make the exact same money, have the exact same money in the bank as this person over here. But depending upon what their goals are and
Mhm.
what how they spend and what their goals are around money is going to be different. I will advise differently than I would advise over here.
Mhm.
Okay. Because this person may be really, really frugal, and that's just the way they are. Their tolerance risk may be really, really low. Well, this person is like, yeah, I'm willing to spend more towards my housing because I don't really go anywhere. I don't really go anywhere and I don't really have all these other things that I pay for. So, yeah, I want to put more into my housing. Well, this person is like, I don't want to do that. And so that's my job. That right there is to
Mhm.
be able to sit down with you and talk about what your goals are. So, one of the first things that I want to know is whenever I talk to anybody, the first thing I want to know is what is your motivation behind wanting to buy a house? I want to know, like, what is going to be driving you towards this, because some people just feel like, if I get it, I get it, if I don't, I don't. Well, I want to know that up front. Okay, because it doesn't determine if I'm going to work with you, it determines how I work with you.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
people I'm looking for people who are very motivated, who want this really bad. People who say, "Hey, I've never owned a home before. I wake up and I think about, what it's going to be like." Or nobody in my, household or my mother, my daddy, like nobody ever owned a home. I want to be that person. Or, I'm just tired of paying rent. I'm tired of not having my own. Like I need people who have that, who have enough of a drive and motivation, because those folks are coachable. They're going to they don't have to have all their credit, ain't got to be, 700s, and they don't have to have all their ducks in a row. They just need to be very, very motivated and want it really bad, because I can help you. Okay. And so, you know, for me, it's figuring out what the obstacles are and addressing those things specifically. If it's credit, we'll deal with credit. If it's no money, we'll deal with that. If I see, a person has really good credit and good income, been on their job, and they don't have any money, I'm like, well, I can find you some money, right? We can find some money out here. Okay. So, it just depends on what their situation is. So, being able to talk to them is the only way that I can advise them on whether you need to do a HELOC and put your house on the market and pull the money out and rent it out. And like we can talk about that, because everybody doesn't want to be a landlord. Some people never want to sell a house. Some people want to just keep moving from house to house and building up an investment portfolio. That's what they want to do. And so it just depends on what that person's goals are, what that
Mhm.
person's tolerance is, what it is that they're looking to do would depend on how we best, figure out a situation that's going to work best for them.
Welcome to the I Triumph Real Estate Blueprint Podcast, where greatness awaits you.